It's day 3 now, pretty much. First day didn't count, but day 2, was it day 2? Yeah, I guess the full day 2 was going to the hot springs. So meeting up with some friends, Mimi, Greg, their family, and my nephew, and going to a couple of hot springs, which is, I guess, today's topic, the hot springs of Idaho, because I've been to all of 2. But with the information of 2, I have a lot more knowledge, I guess, that they're not all created equal. We wanted to have a new experience, like one that no one had been to before. So Pine Flats Hot Springs came up. I think it's called, Pine Flats. And, on all trails, on Google, you're going to have information that, it's hot springs, about a mile trek to get there. Didn't really seem like a mile, but it said a mile. This one involved a hike, whereas the other one, Kirkham, there's no hike. The parking lot pretty much is there. In fact, there's one literally on the other side of the parking lot, but the walk is nothing. But the other one, the new one, Pine Flats. Now, Pine Flats had kind of a small parking area, and one section was closed, but it looks like it's an established hot spring area that people would go to. Don't go to that one. I can say right now, you will be disappointed unless the idea of the nature of hot water coming out of the ground is like fascinating so much that you're just like, I don't care where it's at or how small it is, I just want to touch hot water coming out of the ground. You'll get that. I mean, you get that, but to bring a suit and a towel, no, forget about it. It's really, I want to say it's bad. It's just kind of, it doesn't work there. It's just non-functional, I guess, as something like that. There is a tiny little pool area. A lot of these are kind of not really fake, but they've been modified. So they're not 100% natural as far as like you're sitting in what people would have done thousands of years ago. Well, actually, maybe they moved the rock thousands of years ago, I guess. But people have kind of put rocks over time. And maybe that was the Forestry Service. I don't know who. But they kind of built the spa part of it to hold the water. Otherwise, the water just goes out into the river. A lot of them seem to be near rivers. The Payette River, I believe. But yeah, for us, it was like, all right, this is basically useless. And it says, there's like 6 to 8 pools. Like, where? I mean, in one pool, it was just so small, and we're looking for other pools. Like, they're not here. Maybe the time of the year might affect things, but it kind of seems like, do not go to Pine Flats unless you just want the beauty of the trail. Even that, the other side of the mountain was like ravished by fires at some point in time, so there's like a lot of stick trees. So the view is sort of, if you look at the right angles, you'll get a view. But otherwise, you're not going to be like soaking in those. So we left that, went back to the first one, which was good because the first time I was there, I didn't really immerse myself, literally and figuratively, I guess. I think I just didn't have the right outfit on. I didn't bring my flip-flops and forgot to bring my flip-flops this time too. Actually, I brought them, I didn't bring them. I didn't know we were going to those springs again. But anyway, I just went bare feet, which is okay, but the rocks can be really sharp and hard on the feet unless you're just used to that kind of stuff. If you're like 8 and you've like been outdoors your whole life, like, a jungle boy or something, then you're probably okay. But my feet did not like all those sharp rocks, and I got a bruise or kind of a little wound to testify to that. But otherwise, I did get fairly immersed, and it's a great feeling. I gotta say, for especially free, and you go out there. I call it sometimes therapeutic. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it feels good, and that could be, if you consider like doing something that feels good therapeutic, then there you go. But I don't know if there's going to be anything in the water, special chemicals or elements, whatever, that are going to make you, any change in your body's chemistry, whatever. And I don't think you should drink the water either. But yeah, if you go out there, if you want to go to a good one, I don't know why I would recommend more people, because, the lower the crowds, the better. But the crowds actually were really lighter than February, ironically enough. And all the people there are usually pretty cool. I mean, if anything, sometimes people will stay in one spot a long time, like, come on, share. But everyone there seemed to be really nice. And that's just, I think, indicative of people in general in Idaho. I guess people are nice here. With exceptions, of course. So yeah, we stayed for hours, and it's just great to be under falls like these, like heavy waterfalls that are almost too hot. I mean, it kind of can be like almost burning, not quite. You probably would get used to it, but very uncomfortably hot, which is good because you can just kind of go off to the side a little bit or adjust it as needed. And there's also places that are really cold because the river kind of comes through, and that river is freezing. I mean, it's just like, well, it comes from the ice, melting ice, so you kind of know why. Other than that, this is good for anyone. So Kirkham is the one to go to, I guess. But there's other ones too. We haven't tried them all, so maybe there's other ones worth trying. You kind of got to research really closely. It was worth trying, so I'm not saying that it wasn't worth trying the pine flats. It's good to know, to get comparisons, and especially to recommend to other people if they're coming out here. Where do they go? Where do I go? Which one? So it was great. I always say the perfect bath or perfect shower is one actually I think you want to get out of. You feel like completed, because like, I don't know, sometimes if you're in it for a very long time, it feels great and you don't want to leave, which is good. It's kind of cool, but it's also a little step better. It's like, wow, I feel so good that I'm done. I finished. I've gotten my fill. I feel completed. But I don't know, most of the time it's just like, no, it feels so good that you just don't want to ever leave, unless, it's just, you get too prudy or whatever. But in the hot water never runs out. It's just a weird phenomenon where it's just, you can take an endlessly hot bath for as long as you want. I imagined, I call them Indians, but people call them Native Americans, but just old people that were here for a long time would have probably really enjoyed this kind of stuff. Man, yeah, not gotten anything done. Why didn't you finish the harvest? Because I was in the hot springs all day. Probably hard to get kids to do anything with stuff like that around. Anyway, all right, that's it. So day 3, it's Mother's Day today. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, of course. And tomorrow my flight back is in the afternoon, so I actually do not have to get up at, would have been 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m. And even better, I'm getting paid to take the later flight, or I got a kind of a bonus for taking the later flight, for rescheduling the flight. So it worked out. So yeah, always schedule a flight that you think might get rebooked. But if it didn't, then I would have been up at 3:30. So, and that will be it for this vacation. So one more day, and great weather today. Like, it might be in the 80s. So appreciating that. This is a proper spring. Not like Seattle's improper spring. This is a proper spring. That's it for now. Cheers.